So Shadow of Mordor is a third-person open-world action sandbox game. And it's set entirely inside Mordor, between the events of The Hobbit and The Lord of the Rings. So it's a new story in the lore here, and it begins after Sauron's defeat in Dol Guldur at the end of The Hobbit, and he returns to Mordor. Now, at this point in history, he's been gone for thousands of years. So where you begin is you're Talion, this ranger of the Black Gates there, who's stationed there to guard against Sauron's return, but without much forces left, when Sauron comes back, they're unprepared for that power, and they get annihilated. Talion's killed, his family, everybody. And then he's resurrected by this spirit of vengeance who's also awakened by Sauron's return. He's got this ancient grudge against Sauron and gives you the power to come back from the dead and pursue your vengeance into Mordor.
The Nemesis system creates personal interactions with your unique enemies. Every enemy will remember their encounters with you.
So every enemy in the world, all the generic grunts, they all have this potential, unlike most other games, to remember you, to grow and build a relationship. And by the end, you've got this kind of authentic villain who remembers you running away from him or running away from you, or they die, or so you think. And then they come back and they're scarred by it and they hate you all the more for it. And so those guys will always kind of carry that with them, and it really makes every playthrough completely different, because you're never going to get the same guys with the same personalities and same relationship and history. Even if you play, not only between you and your friends, but if you play a second time, you'll have a completely new story unfolding because of the nature of that dynamic storytelling that's building through the enemies and their memories.
This game has been compared with Assassin's Creed when you first announced it. Why it's different?
When people get their hands on it, we're very confident they feel what a unique experience it is, even if it has some similarities. And you know, we do want the controls to be very pick up and play and to be familiar to people, but there's so much unique going on here. Not only the Nemesis system, which is a pretty big deal, it separates the feeling moment to moment of the game, but it's a very open sandbox as well. To that effect, we worked with Christian Canamessa, who's the lead writer and designer on Red Dead Redemption, and he wrote the story for our game. And so our kind of main missions very much have that Red Dead structure. Even the main story is non-linear. You can go off in several different directions. There's branches going at all times, but it doesn't break down. I mean, it holds up and it sort of layers in the story in different ways for people. So it's fun to see that emergent narrative build itself differently for each person who plays it. Shadow of Mordor is coming out on October 7th on PlayStation 4, Xbox One, PlayStation 3, Xbox 360, and PC.